This right here is the MacBook Air M1 chip. It came out in 2020. It's been around for a couple years. I've owned it for a couple years and I use it almost every day. It's a really good laptop and I got it for a really good price. That being said, it ain't perfect. I'm gonna answer any questions you may have about why you should not get this MacBook. Because the fact of the matter is there's no such thing as tech that is perfect for everyone. Let's get into it. All right, reason number one why you should not buy the MacBook Pro M1 chip is because it's a MacBook Air. What do I mean by that? It is a base model MacBook. It has limitations. There is a reason they have the MacBook Pro, because the MacBook Air can only handle a certain amount of tasks at a time. The MacBook Pro is gonna be your go-to computer if you do heavy computing on it. If you have a ton of tabs open while you're doing Photoshop, while you're editing videos. To an extent, the MacBook Air can handle it, but it's gonna be slow and it's really not gonna do what you need unless you spec it out like crazy, at which price point you should probably get a MacBook Pro. So if you are a serious photographer, a serious filmmaker, then I would consider getting the MacBook Pro. Reason number two why the MacBook Air M1 chip is not the best computer in the world. Tell me what you see. An auxiliary port and two USB Type-C outlets. That's it. There is limited ports on this computer. Most people are gonna buy this to have a travel computer. Photographers that wanna slip in a SD card are gonna have trouble with this. Now, there's dongles that you can get. There are ways around it. It's not the end of the world. However, it is kind of inconvenient that you're gonna be paying a pretty penny. Although it's the cheapest MacBook, it's still a MacBook, still costs $500, $600, $700, $800 for one. If you're spending that much money and you need it to have an SD card slot, it's kind of disappointing that it doesn't. Reason number three why I don't love this MacBook Air, and again, I do love it, but one thing that I wish it had is a bigger screen. This screen is not that big, and there's ways around it. Again, you can plug it into a big monitor and it makes it more portable. They just came out with the 15-inch MacBook Air, which is very tempting for me. However, if you know the purpose of the MacBook, if you're okay with a small screen and portability, get it. But if you're looking for something that has a ton of space on it, I mean, this is not much bigger than my iPad Pro. The screens are about the same size. So that tells you all you need to know. An iPad, which is even more portable. If you're looking for screen real estate, this is not the computer that you're looking for. Okay, so reason four is a little nitpicky, I'll admit, because there is a way around this. This is the M1 MacBook Air, and the standard version, which is the most affordable, which is really a good value, comes with 8 gigs of RAM. 8 gigs of RAM is simply not enough if you want to do a lot on your computer. And again, if you find yourself falling in between professional editor and just using it for light browsing, if you're in the middle, it might be worth considering upgrading to 16 gigs RAM. But as far as the base level MacBook M1 goes, the 8 gigs of RAM, it's not gonna be enough for a handful of people. Now, I would say 60, maybe even 70% of people, this is gonna be okay. You're gonna be able to browse the internet. You're gonna be able to edit light videos, light pictures. You're gonna be able to do things here and there, and you're not gonna have any problems at all. I will add that this is the M1 chip, right? The M1 chip is very impressive. It does a great job, but there gets to a point when you're doing so much on a laptop, you're gonna run into a bottleneck somewhere, and that's probably gonna be your RAM if you have not upgraded it. Okay, reason number five why the MacBook M1 Air, MacBook Air M1, M1 MacBook Air, however you wanna say it, is not the computer for you, is it's hard to get a hold of. And it's hard to get a hold of for a good deal. Now, I know this is kind of a dumb reason because now, this is my way of kind of coming full circle and just saying, hey, look, this is still a really good laptop, and I'm not saying it's not. But one reason people don't get it, and maybe shouldn't get it, is because it has very limited availability, and you wouldn't want to overpay on the used market, in my opinion. So that being said, this is a really good laptop. I love it. But if you're looking for heavy computing, if you want more real estate on your screen, it's probably not going to be the best laptop for you. And the reality is most people are going to enjoy this laptop.